I'd say probably by tomorrow. I think the goal is to just line everybody up, make sure everybody's feeling good, let them throw their bullpens, and the good news is we feel really good about our rotation. That back-to-back weeks, Funkhauser, Rogers, and Kidston have thrown well. You hate to not have Ruxer in the mix. You hate it for him. He's had such a great year, and that's not 100% yet. We're preparing to not have Ruxer in the mix, and we'll see. We'll see what kind of news we get in the next couple of days, and it goes more about playing good baseball. Let's just focus on great preparation this week and get ready to play, possibly 3 really good teams, in our regional.
Would you look at, if you were to get Ruxer, is that almost kind of like a bonus at this point?
It's definitely a bonus, but the problem is the farther along you go, the longer it's been since he's pitched, and now you're talking about stamina, endurance, the feeling comfortable on the mound. It'd be nice to have him, as a boost, but you're concerned that, how durable is he? He hasn't thrown, and where's his stamina going to be? So, first and foremost, I just want the kid to be healthy.
Right.
I mean, he's got a chance to be a good draft pick, and he's had a great career here, and hoping for that. And if he is healthy, then that means maybe we have a chance to use him.
In the past, you've usually gone with your number one in the first game. Is that the way you're leaning?
And just traditionally, there's so much parity in college baseball. We got a lot of respect for the teams year in and year out. I mean, Kent State has a really nice baseball history that I think even our fan base is aware of. They're a really good program, played in the College World Series a few years ago, and always pitch, always play hard. And, so it'd be hard for me to not lean to go with your number one in game one. The other thing about someone like a Funkhauser, it's our most durable arm, and if needed to come back at some point up along the weekend, Funk could do it. Justin Marks did it a few years back and threw a couple innings in that Monday night, if necessary, game and ended up getting the save. And then we dogpiled to go to a super regional. So, I think all indications lean towards Funk, but we still just want to evaluate all our options and see where we're at.
Why is he so effective,
Pitches off the fastball. And I think most pitchers, for the most part, you have to pitch off the fastball. And he's got life, he's got endurance, he gets stronger as the game goes on. So in some pitchers, the second or third time through, they get a little fatigued and you start to recognize things. He seems to push it into another gear, second time through, and then third time through the lineup, there's another gear. Now the fastball's coming in with more velo, more life, and as a hitter, you're like, wow, I'm trying to time this guy, and he seems to get better as the game goes on.
Kidston?
Kidston is, the ability to throw 3 pitches, downward tilt on the fastball, the big 12-6 curveball, which you don't see a ton of in college baseball anymore, and then the great changeup, which, more of your amateur pitchers don't really live and die off of a great changeup. That this level, it's the velocity, and so he's unique because I don't know if there's many pitchers that have a 3-pitch mix as consistent as his is.
Preparation-wise, how big a difference is there or advantage being home versus if you were going somewhere?
Well, I just think from a comfort standpoint, your kids are sleeping in their own beds, they're eating where they like to eat. We're working out in our weight room, we're in our training room, you're getting dressed in your locker. I don't know the percentage, but clearly, more of your host teams seem to advance in the regionals. It's never 100%, but I'm sure if you look back on the years, it's 12 out of 16, 13 out of 16, maybe 14 out of 16. And we all see that in college basketball and college baseball. The home team, shows it has the advantage, and for all the right reasons, and playing in front of a large crowd, preferably, your home crowd. So, and it also, I think it's a self-esteem, confidence builder that, hey, we've earned the right to host this regional. So we've put together a great year.
Do you like that college baseball still does it, where a host team is the home team, as opposed to college basketball, where it's more regionally based?
No, I clearly think you got to have the host team, the record, the crowds. It's good for college baseball, and we've come a long way. We're not college basketball, but clearly in college baseball, it's proven somebody's got to be a host team, and even in conference tournaments, you try to have a host team or teams where you know you're going to draw a lot of fans, and I think it's the right thing to do.
How difficult is it to punch the right button, so to speak? I mean, like you said yesterday, early in the year, some freshmen were playing well. Now it's Solak and Ray. You guys have mixed them in. Your catcher, you've got 3 guys at catcher. How do you know which one to use on a daily basis?
Yeah, I mean, it's not an exact science. I trust our coaches. We're with these kids in the short cages, in the hack shack, on the field. We're watching their demeanor. We're watching, how they feel about themselves and where their self-esteem's at. And fundamentally, we have so much stuff on video that mechanically you're watching things to say, okay, who looks locked in, who's showing that they're locked in, and right now who's struggling, who's pressing, who's feeling the heat or a little bit down on themselves. And we talk a lot. And I keep telling the kids, just because you don't start doesn't mean we don't believe in you. I mean, there's a good chance you come off the bench and help us. And I'll say it. I love our depth. I love our depth on the mound, and I love our depth with our position players. So hopefully we keep picking the hot hands.
Is it unique to have 3 catchers that you're rotating in and out? I mean, that's
probably unique. But, we have 2 senior catchers that, the blue-collar, dirtbag type of kids. They've been through the grind. They were our catchers last year. We went to Omaha. We have the super talented freshman catcher who everybody sees his tools, knows his tools, and respects them. And because Gibby, had an injury there for a few weeks, Will got thrust into that spot. Shane's been the steady guy, catches once a week, sometimes twice, and it's nice having that balance because you feel like if someone twists an ankle or someone's struggling at the plate, you can always get another guy in there to help us win.
Dan, what percentage of these guys did you recruit against Kentucky to get?
Oh, I wouldn't know. Maybe half,
Really?
give or take. I mean, it's just – but, we recruit against Vanderbilt a lot. I mean, in this part of the country –
Is Kentucky one that you go against the most?
Oh, yeah, because they're in our state. And our first goal, no doubt, we have to try to get the best players in Louisville, the best players in the state to represent this great university. And then we all spread our wings, and we go a little bit more north. I know Kentucky might go a little south at times, but if you're a really good player in this part of the country, it's not just going to be us in Kentucky on you. Like I said, we're going to have to deal with Vanderbilt and Tennessee and Indiana, and there's always good schools going after these players in this part.
Somebody like Sturgeon, were they in on him?
Oh, yeah, an in-state player and one of the best players in the state, and it's hard for both of us to not be on every player in the state of Kentucky.